Something just happened in the state of Wisconsin that takes Trump derangement syndrome to a whole new level. Something that shocked even far leftists and, as it turns out, federal authorities as well. We're about to see the whole new definition of what it means to get woke and go broke. And even better, we're going to see how patriotism and a love for faith, family, and freedom win every single time. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you make sense of the madness with breaking news and analysis you're not going to get anywhere else. So you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Meet Kirk Bangstad, owner of Minocqua Brewing Company in Minocqua, Wisconsin. As it turns out, Bangstad isn't just a brewery owner. He's a rabidly radical left-wing activist. In 2015, National Democrats recruited him to run for Congress in Wisconsin's 7th District, a race he frankly got trounced in. After buying Minocqua Brewing Company in 2016, Bangstad ran again in 2020 for the state assembly against Republican incumbent Rob Swearingen, and he lost once again. But he openly admitted that the goal was never to win. It was to raise money to be able to be a big voice against Republicans. Then that same year, he hung an oversized Biden-Harris sign on his brewery in defiance of local sign ordinances, deliberately courting a fight with county officials. And apparently, he briefly launched a campaign for Wisconsin governor as a Democrat, but was denied ballot access after failing to gather enough signatures. But that history of failed far-left activism extended into rather dark, grim territory recently when he allegedly posted this on his now reportedly deleted Facebook page. It's a post publicly sharing his outrage that the latest attempt on President Trump's life back in January at the White House Correspondents' Dinner did not succeed. That's right. He was outraged that Trump wasn't assassinated. Quote, "Well, we almost got free beer day. Either a brother or a sister in the resistance needs to work on their marksmanship, or he faked another assassination to get a positive news cycle. We'll never know. Regardless, we stand at the ready to pour free beer the day it happens." Now, as if his displeasure with the failed assassination attempt weren't discussing enough, as you probably noticed there, he referred to this free beer day that's referring to a previous post where this lunatic liberal promised, quote, "free beer all day long the day he," Trump, "dies." Show this post when it happens in a few months. And we'll make good on that promise. Now, of course, I mean, just in terms of basic human decency, those posts were utterly reprehensible. Again, note it wasn't only once that he did this. It was a long-standing free beer offer waiting for President Trump to meet his demise. That's bad enough. But on top of that, you had an actual lament after a failed assassination attempt. Now, as you might have guessed, this wasn't the first time Bangstad courted controversy. Back in 2023, a Wisconsin jury hit him with a record $750,000 defamation judgment after he falsely accused a local newspaper publisher of elder abuse and letting his brother bleed to death for an inheritance. And he was also reportedly separately charged with harassment and later found guilty of disorderly conduct in a dispute with the same publisher. But this latest free beer day, I mean, takes these controversies to an entirely new level. Indeed, a federal level. Indeed, a federal investigation from none other than the Secret Service itself. And what happened next ultimately cost him something he never saw coming. But speaking of our corrupt elite, let me ask you, what do you think you could do if you had the same insider trading information that Nancy Pelosi has, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Politicians like Pelosi have had access to insider trading secrets for decades now. They know exactly what stocks to buy and when to buy them. But guess what? You and I actually have access to that very same inside information. Thanks to a little-known SEC database, we can see what and when corporate CEOs are buying up in real time, and then we get to piggyback on their trades to gain the same advantage for ourselves. Gang, that's why you have got to click on that link below and sign up for a free training with me and my good friend Ross Givens. It's this Thursday, July 30th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Ross is an insider trading expert whose recommendations have led to investment returns of over 200%. Some have hit as high as nearly 1,500%. It's going to be an amazing free training where you and I can learn how to trade with the exact same insider knowledge as these politicians, but we're going to do it legally and ethically. But don't wait. Seating registration is limited, so click on that link below right now and register today, and I'll see you for an event that promises to change your life. The Wisconsin Department of Revenue has now reportedly issued formal notice revoking Minocqua Brewing Company's brewer's permit at both its Minocqua and Madison locations, along with an alcohol beverage warehouse permit effective August 4th. State investigators say the violations stem from Bagstad's brewery shipping untaxed beer into Wisconsin through an Illinois contract brewer after the state barred him from direct out-of-state shipping, and agents reportedly seized roughly $25,000 worth of canned beer from his tap rooms back in June. Bagstad naturally is crying foul, claiming that the whole dispute amounts to less than $500 in unpaid taxes, and vowing to fight tooth and nail and all that sort of stuff. But I have a feeling it's all for no avail. It appears that he's made all the wrong enemies, both at the state and federal level, and that's certainly not going to help when it comes to an appeal, as it were. Apparently, he also lost his conditional use permit for the Minocqua location last year and kept operating anyway, racking up more than a dozen citations. So it does appear that this is a pattern of a business owner who thinks the rules simply don't apply to him because he's got, the right politics. But unfortunately, the joke's on him if that's the case. This guy is yet the latest business owner to learn the hard way that era where you get to build a brand around hating half the country and get away with it scot-free, that era has come to an end. You're seeing that exact same reckoning play out everywhere right now. For example, you may have seen the latest with Cracker Barrel. Have you seen this? So just last year, Cracker Barrel's woke CEO, Julie Masino, gutted their beloved old-timer logo. Remember this? They stripped away Uncle Herschel. They sterilized the whole down-home Southern aesthetic that built the brand over 50 years, and they replaced it with a more contemporary, many would say woke aesthetic. The backlash was instant and it was brutal. Customers, conservative commentators, even President Trump himself piled on, and Cracker Barrel's stock cratered nearly 52%. They panicked. They reversed the changes. They brought back the mascot. They restored all the original branding. And guess what? The stock has now doubled this year alone. But it wasn't enough to save Messina's job. She just announced she's stepping down next month. Masino herself admitted to Glenn Beck that she felt she got fired by America. And I would say that that's exactly right. Yeah, America, traditionalist America, mainstream America fired you. And then look at Hollywood. Because, 2026 has been an absolute bloodbath for woke content. Disney's live-action Moana remake, budgeted north of $250 million, it opened to a pathetic $43 million domestically. One of the worst live-action remake debuts in Disney's history. Disney's Star Wars gamble, The Mandalorian, and Grogu collapsed 70% in its second weekend, getting outgrossed by two low-budget indie horror films, and it's now projected to lose well over $100 million. And of course, don't forget Snow White last year, another $170 million loss, soaked in pre-release woke controversy that audiences simply rejected. Meanwhile, films that actually respect their audience, Toy Story, or the surprise hit Obsession, made under just $1 million, they're all cleaning up at the box office. The lesson is clear. Audiences aren't rejecting movies. They're rejecting wokeness. They're rejected being lectured to. As we've been finding out for years now, businesses that lean into patriotism, that lean into faith and traditional American values, they're not just surviving, they're thriving. Cracker Barrel stock doubled the moment they went back to their roots. Companies that market pride in country, family, tradition, they're winning customer loyalty precisely because that loyalty was never up for negotiation in the first place. The market has spoken, gang, loud and clear. Americans want to give their money to brands that respect them, not ones that despise them. So here's the bottom line. A brewery that built its entire business model around wishing death on the president just lost the very permit that let it sell beer in the first place. A CEO who gutted a beloved American brand for a hollow modernization just lost her job the moment the stock recovered from her own mistakes. And Studio Systems has spent hundreds of millions lecturing families instead of entertaining them, is hemorrhaging money picture after picture. Wokeness isn't just losing the culture war anymore, gang. It's losing real, hard, measurable dollars. And in America, that's the one language that always, eventually, wins the argument.